Almost certainly by now you've heard of the terms 401k and Roth IRA, and you probably know that they're both retirement plans, but you're also probably wondering, what's the difference and which one will give me the most money? And there's no one-size-fits-all approach to retirement, but I'll be boiling it down to who each one is better for and why. First, why should you have a retirement? Last year, Social Security paid out over $1.2 trillion, but only had $1.1 trillion coming in. And we've hit this deficit despite constantly decreasing the purchasing power of those on Social Security. Social Security as it currently exists is expected to become insolvent by 2035, so there's no guarantee that Social Security will exist at all by the time you retire. And if it does, there's no guarantee that it'll be anywhere near a livable income. We need a retirement fund if we don't want to rely on this dying system or have to work while we're dying. First, let's see who can contribute. To a 401k, you can only contribute through your employer. Sometimes it has matches. In this case, you should always take the match. This is a 100% guaranteed return on your investment. For an IRA, anybody can invest so long as you meet the income limits, which we'll talk more about later. Now, how much can you contribute to each? For a 401k, the maximum yearly limit is $22,500 or $30,000 annually if you're 50 years or older, like Atrioc. For a Roth IRA, the yearly maximum is $6,500 or $7,500 if you're 50 plus. But we'll talk more about why these caps exist later. Next, let's talk about where your contributions can go. So we know that your money grows in your retirement accounts, but how? Your retirement account grows in value by being invested in stocks, bonds, precious metals, and foreign companies, and your retirement account shrinks in value by being invested in crypto. Now, we won't talk about what all these are because we'd be here all day, but just know that they all grow your money at different speeds with different levels of risk, and it's kind of like the hot crazy matrix. As the investment has more potential payout, you stand to have more to lose. With a 401k, you have a lot less options, but the options you do have are typically good enough. These options are chosen by your employer or whomever they've appointed to set up your company's 401k. Be sure to let them know they should add Dogecoin to their investment list so you can retire by the time you're 30. With the Roth IRA, it's essentially a brokerage account on an investment platform. You can invest in anything you can find in the market. If you want your life savings to depend on GameStop, nobody except your parents whose basement you live in can tell you not to. Let's look at when you can withdraw from each. From a 401k at age 59.5, you can withdraw without penalty. If you withdraw before then, you will pay a 10% penalty in addition to income taxes, unless you have any of these qualifying financial events. You need to pay for extreme medical expenses, to give to your divorcee by court order, you're dead, to roll over to another retirement plan, etc. You're also required to start withdrawing from your 401k by age 72 at the latest. For a Roth IRA, expect pretty much exactly the same thing, except you can also withdraw to pay for college or to buy your first home. And you can leave the money in past age 72 if you want. Hell, you could even leave the money in and give it to your kids after you die if you really want. Next, let's talk about the difference in strategy. For a 401k, your contributions are made with pre-tax income, but your withdrawals are taxed as income. That means that before the government takes their cut, you can make your contributions. This results in you being able to contribute more money, however, all the investment growth is taxed. Now for a Roth IRA, your contributions are made with post-tax income, but your withdrawals are tax-free. So investing in a Roth IRA will cost you a little bit more now, but it'll cost you nothing later. So you might be wondering now, does pre-tax or post-tax matter? Now let's say we're currently in a tax bracket of 22% and we'll retire in a tax bracket of 22%. And we contribute $625 of pre-tax money into a 401k for 40 years. At a 7% annual return, this is our balance. But remember that when we withdraw the money, it'll be taxed, so we will only be able to see this much of it. Here's a simplified version of this equation. Now, picture the same situation, but we're investing into a Roth IRA. We can't invest $625 a month because that's equivalent to $801.28 pre-tax dollars. The post-tax equivalent of $625 pre-tax is only $487.50. That's because the government took the other $137.50 to fund ERC fraud. Well, this is at a 7% annual return for 40 years. We end with this much, but it's tax-free. Notice this is the exact same ending amount as a 401k. Let's compare the equations. So it doesn't matter if you tax the money before it grows or after it grows, so long as your tax bracket is the same both times. But what if you expect your tax bracket to change over time? Recall from earlier that the 401k saves you money on taxes now and the Roth IRA saves you on taxes later. So let's look at another example. Say you're in a lower tax bracket. This time you're in the 12% bracket. Going with a Roth IRA is a no-brainer here because you're only paying the 12% in taxes now and you're avoiding the most likely 22% tax bracket that you'll have later. This is how the equations change for this situation. You're saving almost $200,000 just by choosing the right retirement account for you because you know that you're in a lower tax bracket now than you will be later. But the opposite of this becomes true as well. If you're making, say, $200,000 a year, the 401k becomes a better option because your current tax bracket is high and your future tax bracket is low. Here's a quick showing of those equations. Now imagine another scenario. Imagine you make $200,000 a year and you're already contributing the maximum to your 401k. You want to contribute to a Roth IRA. Maybe you want to max out your retirement, maybe you want to pass down some tax-free wealth to your kids, or maybe you think your tax bracket might go up even higher later when you withdraw from your IRA. The government says,
"Whoa, hold up, stop it right there. You make way too much money to enjoy tax-free growth. What do you think this is, a free country? Nah, man, enjoy your tax returns."
Or that's what they want you to think. If your income's big but your brain is bigger, there's something called the backdoor Roth IRA, which is when you contribute money to a traditional IRA, but you roll the balance into a Roth IRA, even though they don't let you contribute directly to it. By doing this, you can show the government which finger on each hand is the longest and avoid their taxes and their dumb income requirements. Now, I know what you're thinking. Making financial moves that flip off the government is usually called fraud and makes you go to jail. So you're wondering how this could possibly be legal. Well, it is. As of 2023, it's completely legal to contribute to a backdoor Roth IRA to save money on taxes. If the 0.01% can use tax loopholes to their advantage, so can you. But this is probably the only loophole that an average person will be able to use in their lifetime, so we have the lobbyists to both thank and blame for that. So to conclude, invest in a 401k if you're in a higher tax bracket and think you'll be in a lower tax bracket when you retire, and invest in a Roth IRA if you're in a lower tax bracket and think you'll be in a higher one when you retire. There are other differences, but these are the main ones you need to consider. Well, I hope you've learned everything you need to know about retirement, what the benefits are, and why retirement is so important. If you want to know about any of the 20 other types of retirement accounts, let me know, but most of these aren't available to the average person, and if you want to learn about which mortgage rate is right for you, click this video. Join the colony by hitting subscribe, and I'll see you next time.